do some things with immigration, make it easier for professionals to come in. Now, if you have an influx of doctors for that special arrangement, and then in 5-10 years, or maybe that's the case now, you now say, oh, there are more doctors in the UK from Africa and Asia, then we can understand it's because of that immigration policy around one particular time. But if that doesn't happen, in the UK, you should have more doctors from the UK. So the governor saying that most 99% of the criminals, kidnappers we caught in Anambra are from Anambra or are Igbo, that's not supposed to be breaking news. Now, the reason why he's saying this is because, according to him, he had been told that the kidnapping industry was dominated by another ethnicity, Fulani particularly, as he stated. If there has been no special arrangement that allowed for the influx of that ethnicity into your state, your city, your country, then Governor Soludo, there is nothing that changes the status quo. Most of your businessmen will be from there. Most of your criminals will be from there. People from that area will dominate the activities of that area because that is home to the natives. It's that simple. So that's why I don't necessarily see this as breaking news or a reason to be surprised. But hey, that is one side. After the break, we take the second side. Governor of Anambra State, Chukwuma Soludo, saying most of kidnappers and other criminals arrested in his state are from his own ethnicity. Okay, now if the conversation were maybe about herder clashes, yes, you can now start talking about, another ethnicity and all of that. And I saw the full video. He talked about how there was propaganda, some lies had been told. He also believed it before he came into office. And, well, thanks to being governor, he now knows better, right? And my position before the break was this should not come as a shock. By default, you should expect that the players in different sectors in a community will predominantly come from that community, unless there is a special arrangement, right, that gives another ethnicity a majority stake in that sector. Now, the second part which I would need to speak about is a lot of the reactions on social media was about the governor stoking ethnic tensions because he particularly mentioned Fulani. And I understand that perspective. I get where they are coming from. Could Soludo have chosen a different choice of words? Maybe. But the reason why I do not necessarily see it that way, and I don't think that's where it's going, is because the gathering where he made this statement was not an official. He wasn't talking to the press. This was not a conference. This was, for lack of a better way to put it, a family meeting. Now, Soludo went to the US and met members of his constituency there. Right? Anambra citizens living abroad in Maryland, USA. So he's there, and the Anambra community there held like a town hall meeting, and he went to address them. While it's not a hidden event, it's not the kind of event where you have to be very careful what you say because the press, the press members are there and all of that. As a matter of fact, this sound that you heard was from the phone of somebody at that event. Because if you see the video, the angle of the video was from a mobile phone. Somebody was, in the corner while he stood up to speak. Of course, it doesn't mean that Soludo should not be careful what he says wherever he is. But imagine you're in a family meeting. Of course, a family meeting will have family members. And it's in that place that you don't want to be careful about what you say because there might be some hard truths that you would need to say. Say we're in my family now and I come out and say, listen, we need to do better. All the exams we have taken, we have failed. All the interviews we went for, we didn't get the job. We are dull in this family and we need to do something. And maybe I come from a large family and somebody in that meeting is making a video of me saying this. When it goes on social media, of course, they'll say, Sam, and don't start. But Soludo was talking to his people in the US. And again, because of who he is, you have to watch the way you say certain things. The gathering required that he told the truth in the way that he did. I'm sure that the longer version of the video, possibly the part we did not see, would obviously speak to the solutions. So, for those who have thoughts and opinions, which you should really, that's a governor of a Nigerian state making these kinds of assertions, particularly in this multilingual, multi-ethnic community we call Nigeria, these kinds of things will definitely trend. But that's what I believe. But more importantly, Mr. Soludo, what is your government doing to ensure that tomorrow these stats are not in the public domain? That the people of Anambra feel safer thanks to your administration? And, well, this is one of the many or few places where I don't like to see ethnicity. Whether the kidnapper is from Gombe, Zamfara, Kaduna, Kafanchan, Anambra, Ogun, wherever. A criminal is a criminal. That's the most important thing. So we're hoping that moving forward, we can have a safer Anambra and by extension, a safer Nigeria. And we don't need to bother about where the successful man is from or the man who's a criminal is from. All right, we're going from that to the next headline, and that is the federal government has expressed concern over the recent decision by the U.S. to impose tighter visa restrictions on Nigerian citizens, describing the move as disproportionate, calling for reconsideration in the spirit of mutual respect and cooperation. This comes just as the UAE imposed tougher entry conditions for Nigerian travelers, banning transit visa applications entirely, According to new directives from Dubai Immigration, Nigerians aged 18 to 45 will no longer be eligible for tourist visas unless accompanied, while those aged 45 and above must provide a 6-month personal statement showing at least $10,000 monthly balance before they are granted visas. On Wednesday, the British High Commission in Abuja also announced a change to UK's immigration process for Nigerians applying for visa and work visas, for study rather, and work visas. Of course, the Nigerian government is not okay with this. It's not a good look on the government. And so they are protesting it, say, why? This, that. Well, as much as they have to take this position, we have to tell ourselves the truth. There are so many policy changes, immigration adjustments that sometimes seem like it's targeted at Nigerians. Why, you may ask? The first is we have a very poor travel record. Honestly, I say this with the highest level of patriotism. A lot of Nigerians who travel outside are not making us proud. So like Soludo, let me talk to my own people. That's a fact. I saw a video one time. Oh, it was so heartbreaking. The community of business people in somewhere in China had come out, the Nigerians there, and they were saying that any Nigerian who comes there and engages in cultism on their own, they will submit that person to the authorities of China. Do you know how bad it is for them to have come to that point? So somebody left this country, went out to look for the greener pasture that somehow is not in this country. And then you go to China, you go to Dubai, and then you join cult. I don't understand. The person that swear for you must have died because we cannot break that curse. So some of these countries need to keep their own people safe. That's a fact. And while not all Nigerians outside are engaged in the wrong things, obviously, we know that there are people putting this country in a bad light. So speaking from their own end, they have to protect their people. Secondly, let's be honest, Nigeria doesn't have a lot of bargaining power because there are many countries whose citizens might be engaged in worse, but they might not get these kinds of sanctions. I give an example. Donald Trump woke up one morning and wanted to share tariff like he was doing promo with tariffs. He did it with China and China gave it back to him. And there were tariff wars until they both came to their senses. So when a country has bargaining power as well, if you give bars, they will give boos. But what will we give? And the most important in this list is disrespect. What will your country, Nigeria, do? If you shout and you make noise and you do everything, tomorrow you will still go and meet them for loans to fund your budget. With these few points of mine, I hope you can understand why as a country we need to get our act right. Very simple. There are more headlines, but I don't have a lot of time, so we'll take those calls right about now. 0817-923-0002. We've talked about the statements of the Anambra State Governor. We've talked about Nigeria protesting tougher visa rules from the US, the UAE, and the UK. And, well, I may not go into this, but the Supreme Court has affirmed the election of the Edo State Governor. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06-416. Please turn off your radio as you call. And I'm sorry again, but a minute would be more than enough to express yourself. Gift calls from Yenagoa. Hello, Gift. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Samson Eduarako. How are you doing?
I'm well. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Let me address the issue of Governor Soludo. I believe, like what he pointed out, it was a family meeting, but the man was straightforward and frank. These are things that, in fact, I don't know how to put it. You've been accusing a particular ethnicity. Now, at the end of the day, now your son is telling you that hard truth, just like hard facts, your program, that if you were thinking that it was Fulani herdsmen, don't think so. 99.9% of the criminals that we have apprehended in my own state, your state, these are sons and daughters. So I don't see whether it is leaked or not leaked. As far as I'm concerned, the man has done the right thing.
Okay.
It's for them to advise their children, for their children to let go of whatever attitude or behavior that they've been misbehaving.
Thank you, Gift. That's a minute. Emeka calls from Ilele. Hello, Emeka.
Yes, my dear brother, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please
go ahead.
Yes, I want to align with the governor of Anambra State about the statement that he made in U.S. Yes, do you know that if he should carry some analysis, most of this fraud and other illegal things is still done by Igbo people. Our brothers, Igbo people, talk about this Yahoo that is running now. 80% of Igbo young men are there. Talk about the drugs. 80% of people, men, are there, even their women. Go to abroad. We are having bad men in abroad today. It's because of one tribe. They should please change and remove the image of the country. They should please change. I align with him.
All right, Emeka. First of all, if you can substantiate that claim, of course, we will not have you share that on this platform. The reason why it's easy for the Anambra State governor to say that is, first of all, he's the governor and he talked about the crimes in his state, right? So while we would investigate and ask questions, you kind of have to understand where the governor is coming from. For you saying 80% generally, you have to quote your source, you have to substantiate, and I'm sorry, but that would be unacceptable for now. JJ from Igbo, please go ahead.
Yes, my brother Sam, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sam, the other time you heard that so-so bishop was kidnapped and killed in so-so state. And when the police, I don't know whether there are still police in that area, when my homie Abakari will storm that place, the people who arrest will be own boys. And I keep asking myself, you hear that so-so courts and so-so courts are fighting, they are in the bush. How come the people they are blaming, this same I don't understand. So I think Soludo is spot on. I think the way you describe China gave it back both to America, that Nigeria would have done that. But where did they can't yam, cocoa yam, go say, they can't join. That's just our situation right now. What bargain power, what trading power do we have? Sorry, Comfort. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Minaso calls from Okreka. Hello, Minaso. Good afternoon.
Yeah, hello, Oracle. Very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I absolutely agree with the governor of Anambra State, Shashuguma Soludo. Yeah, his comments. I mean, they are germane and it really addressed the main issues on ground in the state. Yeah. Kidnapping, for me, is not a time. The truth is a hard pill. We have to swallow it, everybody, whether I like it or not. Now it beholds on the parents, the states, now everybody, to train up their children at least. If the federal government, I hope they are listening, they should address poverty. Poverty is one of these issues. Poverty doesn't solve this problem. Then talking about US, the tighter visa, all this UAE and what have you, migration. I think yes, I like it.